Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Gallant Fuse Daily News for Thursday, the 23rd of February 2023. It is now only 3 sleeps until Cup final day. I don't know about you, but I've went through every emotion the last few days, from absolutely dreading kick-off to getting up in the morning saying we're going to strud them 6-0, and everything in between. Usual old firm kind of build-up for me, just adding the intensity of the first silverware of the season. I'm really looking forward to it. The closer I get to it, the more excitement is edging in rather than nerves. But no doubt I'll still go through every emotion between now and 3 p.m. on Sunday. Davey yesterday brought you the kind of headlines from Michael Beale's press conference on Tuesday afternoon. Because it's the cup final week, there's a couple of different press conferences. Rangers doing the usual pre-match press conference a couple of days early, so they can use Thursday, Friday and Saturday to really focus on the preparation for the game. So yesterday, Borna Barisic, Fashion Sakala and Michael Beale were all speaking to the press and RTV. Start with Borna Barisic. He was asked about does he still think about the 2019 League Cup final going into this game? He says, of course, I didn't forget. I remember how we played and lost that game. Of course, that's one motivation, but not the only one. There are a lot more things. Of course, we remember it. It's very important, a cup final. You don't need to say much more. We want to win this trophy for our club and fans. It's a very important one. When you're together for so long, you have a good relationship and experience of big games. It will be a tough game, but we are ready. Of course, it helps because there's a lot of experience in our squad now. It will help to have experience, but it will be a tough game. You can look at it that way. Maybe it can be a sign that we are on the same level. This is when he was asked about the team's recent form. I'm not thinking about that. I'm just looking at how we can be better every game and in training. That's our mentality. We won't prepare different, of course. This game is bigger than some others, but we have a lot of experience. You need to be mentally prepared, but nothing has changed from previous games. A lot talking about kind of confident a few snippets for Borna Barisic here, and I think that's the Barisic that we've been seeing, one full of confidence, and we know there's a real Jekyll and Hyde aspect to Borna at times, but it is very much Mr. Hyde right now, and hopefully that carries into Sunday. He did go on and speak about Michael Beale coming in and tactically changing a few things and really knowing how the core group of players like to play, and he's been huge for the run of form that we've had. Just a small snippet from Fashion Sakala's interview. He was asked about the game and how it will go. I'm sure most of you have seen that he responded, obviously I know how important the game is when you play against the other mob. Lovely Fashion. It's all about the badge, and I don't even think about my performance. The most important thing is getting the win for the fans and the club, and a good performance from the players. The impact I brought in from the last game was good for the squad, but I'm waiting for more great performances. So, the other mob. Already you've got John Hartson and Barry Ferguson in their respective news outlets saying that it's disrespectful for Celtic, towards Celtic. If you think that's disrespectful, you should tune into the Gallant live stream tonight at 8:30, John and Barry, if you really want to see. I think Fashion's put it mildly there, but it was funny at the time. There's not too much in it. Absolutely, it's just a pantomime if anybody really complains about this, but they will. On to Michael Beale then. So Michael Beale was asked about the injuries. Any updates from the previous day? He said Kmart Roof had a slight issue after the weekend, unfortunately, so we won't be too far away from the team that played last weekend. It wasn't a dress rehearsal in the training session yesterday, but there could be one or two more that declare themselves fit. but I need to make sure they are, because it's important that there's not a bravado around it, that they are genuinely fit. If we get one or two additions back, that will be a bonus, but I'm not counting on it right now. Will I take a risk on a player? Only if they think they can get through it. We live in a fantasy world if we think players lace their boots up every week in fantastic physical condition. It's a final against a big rival. I am 100% sure one or two will declare themselves fit around Friday or Saturday. I'll have to make the choice on whether or not they are. He also added, we're pleased where we're at and we're well prepared for the game. 5 subs and adrenaline helps a lot, but that's why you build a squad. This season, our squad has been pulled apart by injuries. So it makes sense what he's saying there. Every manager will tell you that they go with how the player feels first and foremost. And I think there will be a few really pushing to get back in for this, and I know there's maybe a couple like say Jack Lundstrom haven't played in a few weeks, but it's a whole, if you leave it all in the park, just leave everything you've got at Hampden on Sunday, and it's all that matters. There is a counter argument that we do still have a Scottish Cup to play for as well, and we do want to try and close the gap in the league and get ready for next season. So you wouldn't want somebody coming in if it's going to mean long-term injury. So there is a fine balance there. But I'm glad to hear he thinks that one or two will be at least ready for the weekend, and even if that is on the bench, we know how important subs have been in the last couple of months. So it's not just all about the first 11. Beale was also speaking to RTV and just about the game in general. It's a huge game for a football club and everyone involved. The fans, the players, myself, my staff, and it's a huge privilege to be involved in a game. A rivalry like this is world renowned, and I believe that it's the biggest rivalry in the world, and we are privileged as a country to have it here. I think it's a fantastic final for the neutral. I don't remember a game where the two teams went into it in such fine form as well. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait for Sunday to finally arrive and all the preparations to be out of the way. He also went on to say, we are in a better position than we were after the weekend. We have a lot to do regardless of the outcome. This is a one-off game, a cup final between two rivals, and I think both teams will go head to head. It's about focusing on the game and making sure we do ourselves justice and we come away in a good place. A good place for us would obviously be winning the trophy. There's a lot of respect between the two sets of players and the two management teams. It is two very good teams going head to head. Both teams have got a lot of experience in these types of games. If I look at my own squad, it wasn't so long ago we were playing a European final and very quickly a Scottish Cup final. And we have played here last month in a semi-final. In that sense, we are well versed in this type of game and the build-up of the week, and it's about going to perform on the day. So that's a really good point, what we've probably not spoken about. I think a lot's been labelled the mentality of these players this season in terms of how they've let the lead slip, but the last couple of years, time and time again, these players have shown that they can do it, if not over the distance consistently. They can consistently do it in the big games and one-off occasions. Europe last season was huge. It wasn't just the final. We beat Dortmund, Leipzig, Braga, all in very tough games. The final, we didn't get the outcome, but it was so close, and I don't think we can really label anything down to mentality for the final. I think they gave their all on the day, and we were one kick away. Scottish Cup final last season as well, and then as he says, the Aberdeen game where we weren't at our best, but we got over the line. So I think the league form maybe goes out the window, and there will be a sense of playing the occasion. But if we do play the occasion, I think we've shown over the last 18 months that we can actually do that. Michael Beale also said there is a disappointment. I thought we performed pretty well on the day between the two boxes. Sorry, this was when he was asked about the 2019 League Cup final. He said there is a disappointment. I thought we performed pretty well on the day between the two boxes. We didn't execute where you have to in a decisive game in the boxes. That's a regret, but I think that was in our hands that day. We missed good opportunities against a very good opponent, and we didn't win a trophy. It is one that they have and we don't in terms of the record books, and we want to add it to our trophy cabinet at the weekend. For some of the players in our squad, it is the one thing that is missing, that League Cup. And that's a good point. A lot of these players have a League Winners' medal and a Scottish Cup medal in their cabinet, so time to go and get the cabinet boys, the hat-trick for the cabinet boys. That's all the real news for going into Sunday. There's not really been too much more, as you'd imagine. All the news outlets and all the speculation, all the chat is based on Sunday's game. Last wee bit of news for me though, just a reminder that it's actually a double Old Firm this weekend, with Rangers women away to Celtic women this Friday night. It's a 7:30 kick-off at the Excelsior Stadium in Airdrie. So obviously Rangers women need to make up a bit of headway. I think they're 1 point behind Celtic and 4 behind Glasgow City, so this will, if we can get a result there, then that'll put them into second, and then it's just focusing on clawing the gap back behind Glasgow City in the league. So a huge game, and if you are wanting to get your battle fever on that wee bit early this weekend, Friday night 7:30 at Excelsior Stadium in Airdrie. Tickets are still available, £8 for adults and £4 for children's, and concessions for anybody wanting to go. And as I said, get the Old Firm fighting spirit in and cheer on the Rangers ladies. So that's everything for me this morning, folks. We do have a live stream tonight at 8:30, as in all the usual places, and it'll be made available wherever you get your podcasts shortly afterwards. Yesterday we did drop the part 1 of the top players from the journey, where we asked listeners to submit their top 10 players from Rangers' time in the lower leagues, and we ran through the top 15 places so far. So that's available wherever you get your pods as well, to get your fix if you want to try and take your mind off the game, try and get through, kill a bit of time. But until this evening and tomorrow morning, I'll leave you to it. Have a good day, everybody, and I'll speak to you later on.